All right. At the beginning, in the very first video I did, I asked a question. I asked, who are you and what are you? So far, we've been dealing an awful lot with what are you, as opposed to who are you. So I want to address that, and we're going to do that partly by continuing a little bit about reincarnation, because you're supposed to keep these videos under 10 minutes when you're doing them on YouTube, so I had to stop in the last one, but I'm going to continue a bit here. Okay. Who are you? Well, if you think about reincarnation, you are the sum of all those lives. And as I said earlier, positives or negatives may have their root cause. Again, you have to have a cause back in a past life. Why do we go through this? Because essentially what we're doing is we are going through a growth process that is spiritual in nature. One of the things I found really unique over the years is people who got interested in the psychic would say, well, I have my normal day-to-day life, and then I have my spiritual life. And actually, there is no other reason for you being here other than a spiritual life. This is it, folks. I mean, just the fact that most of the major religions in the world believe that you go on afterwards and that you're eternal, it kind of lets you know that there's some importance attached to that. Okay. Spiritual growth takes place from the inside out. You have to change in some way internally to experience that type of growth. Now, it's about making decisions. In a past life, you may have made a decision which is negative, and you find yourself, again, in this particular life with the opportunity to do something different, to make a better decision, and to grow because of it. So all this growth that takes place on a spiritual plane is to make you a better and better person, let's say a more loving, a more compassionate person, but also to make you much stronger in terms of your motion towards the good. In other words, to become better spiritually and stronger. I want to give you an example. The little town that I live in has a swimming pool. During the summer, it's crowded as anything, and as you might suspect, the amount of children that are there is just it's amazing. Well, every once in a while they have an adult swim where they blow a whistle, all the kids get out of the pool, and it's left for the adults. It can be a real blessing, by the way. Now, when I was there one time, I noticed this little girl. She was hanging on to the ladder in the pool. She was probably the single most vibrant, happy, cheerful little girl in the pool, at least that I could see. I mean, I noticed her because of it. When they blew the whistle for the adult swim, she lifted herself up on the ladder and came out onto the edge of the pool. And she stopped at the hips. She had no legs, and was evidently, by the appearance, she was born that way. Now, this little girl had a choice. She had the choice to go, oh, me, oh, look at me, I can't do anything, I have no legs, oh, this is just absolutely horrible. And a lot of people may react that way, but she didn't. Again, she was the most vibrant little girl in that pool. And believe me, when that little girl leaves this life, whenever that happens to be, she will be much stronger because of that supposed affliction that she had. So what appears to be very negative isn't. It has strengthened her. And again, if our true reason for being here is spiritual, she has accomplished an awful lot. If you look at her in terms of physical appearance, you begin to wonder about things and possibly be negative. So the growth that occurs during reincarnation is that type of growth. You have a decision to make. Are you going to be positive about things? When things happen that seem to be negative, are you going to accept them as negative, or are you going to find the good in them, and are you going to move on and to become stronger and stronger? It's a wonderful opportunity. If you realize that no matter what happens on a physical level, you can never be harmed, because again, you are that spirit that is inside. You're here to learn, you're here to grow, and you're going to go on and on and on to various levels of reality and just have an incredible existence. If you begin to look at life that way, two things happen. You experience that spiritual growth that I'm talking about. But because your focus, and there's that word again, that focus, has changed, when things happen that are negative, you are less affected by them. You see them in a different light, and you may in fact see them for what they are, which is an experience. Because you are here to experience and to grow. What you do with that experience determines that growth. So this is the way that the idea of reincarnation should affect people, hopefully. It's a very important aspect of our lives. It's something that can be of tremendous help. And it's something that we need to know about. For years, people who have certain philosophies that would look and say, well, this person was a very evil person, so when they reincarnate, the next life is going to be a punishment. No, there is no such thing as punishment. A lot of people think, for example, if somebody was a racist, that he was going to suffer in the next life and experience racism directed towards him. And that may turn out to be true, but not as a punishment. Because when he experiences this type of negative reinforcement towards him, all of a sudden internally and spiritually, at one level he goes, oh, now I understand why I shouldn't have done that. Now I understand what I did, why I shouldn't have done it, and now I'm going to discard that, realize it was a bad decision, and move on. Again, that's what internal growth and spiritual growth is all about, and that is what reincarnation is about. You can find evidence for it all through Google, all through YouTube here. Look into it. If you want, study it. It's an important aspect of your life. It's an aspect that in many cases people have not understood. I hope this helps.